From Life, Law, and Lattes, this is Before Forever, a guided conversation series exploring the questions couples should ask before marriage or long-term commitment. Because strong relationships are built on more than love. They're built through honesty, alignment, and intentional conversation. Now here's your host, attorney, author, and life strategist, Nadia Gilks.
Hello and welcome back to Life, Law, and Lattes. I'm your host, Nadia Gilks, and I am someone who truly believes that the strongest relationships are not built by chance. They're built with intention. I'm so excited because today we're jumping into our Before Forever series, a guided conversation experience designed to help you explore the questions that truly matter before marriage or long-term commitment. And we're doing this one conversation at a time. Before we get into today's conversation, I want to quickly mention something that will help you get the most out of this series. I've created a Before Forever reflection workbook that you can download for free from the resources page on my website, elegalcafe.com. This is simply a space for you to capture your thoughts, reflect as you listen, and come back to the conversation either on your own or with your partner. If you don't have it yet, that's fine. You can always revisit the website after the episode. Now, as we start today's question, I want you to think about this. Have you and your partner ever actually talked about what faith will look like in your relationship? Beyond just saying or thinking, we'll figure it out. This is not about having perfect answers. It's just about asking better questions. Because what I've seen both in life and legal work is that many relationships don't fall apart because people don't love each other. They fall apart because they don't fully understand each other. This conversation is part of our first section, Core Identity and Values. Because before you build a life together, you have to understand who you are at your core. So today's question: how do you feel about practicing different faiths or traditions as a couple? Take a moment and think about that. Faith is often deeply personal, but it's not just about religion. It's about values, traditions, identity, how you make decisions, how you raise your children, how you process hardship. And for many people, it's also about community. And when these things aren't discussed early, they don't disappear. They often show up later when the stakes are much higher. I've seen couples where one partner assumed the children would be raised in their faith, while the other partner assumed there would be freedom to choose, and neither of them had the conversation beforehand. I've also seen beautiful examples where couples decide to honor both traditions, create new shared rituals together, or just clearly define what role faith will or won't play in their home. But those outcomes do not happen by accident. They happen through intentional conversation. Take a moment to reflect on what faith or spirituality means to you. How does it show up in your everyday life? Is it something that feels personal and private, or something that's actively practiced and shared? And as you think about your relationship, consider this. What parts of your belief system feel flexible, and what part feels essential? The goal isn't to have all the answers, it's simply to begin the conversation. Now, for a legal latte moment. Faith doesn't just live in the abstract. It can show up in very real, practical ways, including parenting decisions, education choices, end-of-life preferences, family involvement, and expectations. And in some cases, especially in a custody dispute, this can become a real point of conflict. So while this conversation may feel emotional or personal, it can have real world implications. As you discuss this, remember that this conversation is not about proving who's right or convincing your partner to see things your way. It's simply about understanding each other, where you align, where you defer, and what that means for the life you're building together. Because love is powerful, but alignment is what sustains it. If this question brought something up for you, that's the work, that's the awareness, and that's where building a strong relationship begins. If you're following along with the Before Forever Reflection Workbook, this is a great place to pause and write down your thoughts. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you can grab your copy at no charge on the resources page at elegalcafe.com and use it as you move through each episode. You can reflect as you listen or come back to it afterwards and go deeper. Remember, the goal isn't to agree on everything. It's to understand what you're building before you build it. Next time, we're talking about worldview and whether opposites really can align when it comes to politics, perspective, and how you see the world. Thank you for spending time with me today. Please like, share, and subscribe wherever you are tuning in. And until next time, keep asking the questions and having the conversations that matter.
You've been listening to Before Forever, a guided conversation series from Life, Law, and Lattes. Download the free Before Forever Reflection Workbook at elegalcafe.com/resources. And until next time, keep asking the questions that matter.